Aston Villa have officially completed our first signing of the January transfer window, and it's the one that we all knew, right? We all knew it was coming. It was just going to be formalities and a sale out of the door as well. That is correct. DONYELL MALEN has joined Aston Villa from Borussia Dortmund. The fee is around 22 million euros. Jadon Philogene has also been sold to Ipswich. We're going to go through all the books and stuff a little bit later on. But if you are enjoying the Aston Villa content, we are now, pop it up there, less than 100 subscribers away from 3,000 Aston Villa legends subscribed to this channel. So leave a like on the video, subscribe down below. It costs absolutely nothing, and turn the notifications on so you don't miss a single video from myself. And also comment down below what you think about us signing DONYELL MALEN. So yeah, it's all official now. Aston Villa have tweeted it out on our official social media channels. DONYELL MALEN joins from Borussia Dortmund. The fee details are obviously undisclosed officially, but we all know it. 22 million euros up front, and then certain add-ons, some guaranteed, some not guaranteed. He joins from Borussia Dortmund, and he's our new right winger. He is the new competition for Leon Bailey, who hasn't particularly hit the ground running this season, hasn't been able to carry over that form from last season. We have also sold Jadon Philogene. That one is going to be up on the screen somewhere. It's effectively official. We're just waiting for a few details. Even Emery's saying it in his press conference. And that one is a 22 or 23, I think it was, £1 million deal. So if we do the conversions, which I'm going to do live on my phone, and I'll pop it up on the screen, you'll see that the business is actually alright. So if I pop both up on the screen right now, I look like I'm one of those like annoying Instagram Forex traders, like, dudes, join my channel and you can be making this profit in less than a week just copying the exact trades. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to prove a point. Which one of these do you think is Malen, and which one do you think is Jadon Philogene, a player who really, unfortunately, hasn't hit the ground running for Villa this season and has looked like a championship player? Well, the 26 million euros is how many euros we would be getting for Jadon Philogene as a transfer. Okay, so 26 million euros paid to Aston Villa. You balance that against the 22 million euros we're paying up front for DONYELL MALEN. Again, in pounds, you can see on the screen, switch it over there because I'm not good at maths, so I can't figure it out that quick. Is about £18.5 million up front. So technically, and that is a big technically because I don't know how we're going to work the books. I don't know how it goes into the books for each year, how many, if there's like payment plans. I know that they do like Klarna to buy players nowadays where you buy now, you pay later in 3 instalments. But ultimately on face value, we have managed to sign DONYELL MALEN and our net spend is actually down by about £3.5 million. I'm probably a little bit off with the numbers. But either which way, we've signed DONYELL MALEN, a player with Champions League, European top 5 league, Arsenal Academy, if that counts for anything, and international pedigree. And our net spend for January is still in the minus. We've only lost Jadon Philogene, a player that probably wasn't even going to feature at all in a meaningful role this season. He had his one good game against Bayern Munich, and then we haven't really seen him. On the screen, you can see DONYELL MALEN's stats. Now, I want to actually weigh up, is this a good sign-in for Aston Villa, right? Or is it one that we probably could have done without? We will see. Again, net spend minus. We'll keep that in mind. But he's 25 years of age, playing for Borussia Dortmund, UCL finalist last year alongside Ian Matson. But are we signing a player 25 years old for a winger? You'd think they are either in or coming into their prime. Now, is that the case with DONYELL MALEN? I'll be honest with you, no, it isn't. He's actually probably having one of his worst seasons of his career so far. So 14 games, only 6 starts, only managing 3 goals, an average match rating of 6.5. You can see the goals. It's all right. He's completing 75% of his passes, only 15% of his crosses as a winger. Worries me. Yes, the goals is all right. He's in the top 25% roughly. He's only completing 36% of his dribbles. This is a player not having a fantastic time. He's probably in a lull in his career. I mean, I don't know whether he's per 90s, paint him in a better picture, not particularly. Now, what I mean by it, if we would have signed him back in 22-23, perhaps 9 goals, 5 assists, 80% pass accuracy, a near 30% cross accuracy. That dribble success, I would assume,
yeah, it's a little bit higher than 36.7%. I mean, you even look further back, if we go back in, if we go to the Eredivisie 2020 to 2021, the season that got him signed for Borussia Dortmund, right? This is what he can do. 19 goals, 8 assists, another cross percentage accuracy in the 20s, a pass accuracy of that near 80%, dribble success rate of 66.7. The dribble success rate does worry me, but then you look at last season, right? Look at last season in the Bundesliga. This is just barely a season ago. And again, I don't know the ins and outs of Borussia Dortmund. I don't know, have they changed managers? I feel like they're always swapping and changing around. You know, they've changed personnel. They've got Bomo Gittens now, I think his name is, on the wing, the young English chap who's absolutely taken over. Because, I mean, last season, you know, you wouldn't think this is the type of form that would get DONYELL MALEN dropped primarily to the bench. 14 games, 6 starts this season. He got 13 goals last year, highest for his position. Only the 1 assist is not fantastic. The cross accuracy, again, not fantastic again. I don't know how Borussia Dortmund play, but even there, you know, the dribble success ratio, 51%. He's completing a lot of dribbles, you know, through all the seasons that we've gone back here. He's always at the top of that dribble completed stat rate. In the Euros this season, got 2 goals, completed 75% of his dribbles there as well. So I'm not really sure what's happening to him this season. But again, he's not a player at the moment at the peak of his powers. Now, clearly Villa, Emery, etc. We've seen something in him, right? We've seen something in him. He actually played for the Arsenal under-23s. That's interesting. I didn't know that. We've clearly seen something in him and clearly think that these stats aren't a fair reflection of him as a player. But if we look at, you know, for argument's sake here, if we go over to Leon Bailey, who is our current starting right winger for Villa this season, and probably would have continued to be if we didn't make this signing, he's got a goal and 2 assists from 12 starts. So instantly, the stat's not fantastic. 27 years of age at the moment. That 1 goal doesn't put him in good stead. I mean, the cross accuracy even worse than Malen's at 10%. Pass accuracy roughly the same. Yes, he's got more assists. Long ball accuracy is okay. The goals less. The expected goals a lot less. Completing about 50% of his dribbles. Now, this season, I think all of the Villa fans would agree, Leon Bailey's almost been a bit like a vacuum of awfulness on the wing in terms of with the ball at his feet, and he is still completing about 12 to 13% more of his dribbles than Malen, which is worrying to me because every time Leon Bailey gets the ball this season, I'm like, oh, here we go, he's going to lose it again. Now Malen's losing it 12% more of the time, for argument's sake. So that's a worry for me. That is a little bit of a worry, but you know, again, maybe Bailey is going to be our starting right winger this season. He's just starting. I mean, we look at his form chart here. Apart from the West Ham game, he's just creeping into form, isn't he? He's just about getting there now. So perhaps Malen is the backup now. The player that we've just sold for more money than we've bought Malen for is Jadon Philogene-Bidace. Really hasn't set the world alight for Villa. Only managed 2 starts, 11 games. You know, it hasn't been fantastic. No goals, no assists. We scroll down. I mean, he hasn't even bothered trying a cross. Now, Villa aren't really a crossing team, and if we are crossing, it's usually our fullback, so that could be a bit of a thing to look at. But you know, he's only completing 33% of his dribbles. That is slightly less than Malen, and you know, defending wise, not fantastic. So overall, you know, this man, get rid of Leon Bailey, this man's going to be an upgrade, but we're not getting a player at the peak of his powers. But we've also got a negative net spend. Interesting. I think so anyway. So let's have a little discussion. How do I think it's a good deal, right? And you'll probably notice my surroundings are slightly different. We've just moved. It was a 4-hour move, so it's not like we moved just round the corner. So life's been a bit up in the air. I'm hotspotting from my phone, a picture of the boys on it for anyone that likes the cats. So yeah, I'm still sorting stuff out. So the video is going to be a little bit different because I'm having to work with what I have at the moment. But what do I think about DONYELL MALEN, right? This transfer, look, ultimately, I was a big fan of Jadon Philogene, but even I can admit when things aren't working out, and I think he probably goes to Ipswich and he'll probably do really well. You know, knowing our luck, he'll probably go to Ipswich and start setting the Premier League alight. But perhaps he just needed that change, right? And we'll probably buy him back in the summer, knowing how his transfer career has gone so far. Malen came out of nowhere. He's a well-established player, international. Everyone knows about DONYELL MALEN. And as the stats that we've just gone through show, he has potential to be a really, really good, really, really important player. Yes, When he was scoring more goals, he used to play up front. Now he's playing on the wing. But right wing is a position that we needed, right? I think every Villa fan came into this transfer window saying we need to sort out our right-hand side. And it was blatantly apparent in the 2-1 victory against West Ham. 0 shots on target in the first half. I just don't think the right-hand side created anything, which is a worry, right? So Malen, he's an upgrade. I think he's probably going to start over Leon Bailey, ultimately. He's not available for the Everton game, which is tomorrow as I record this. Then he'll be available for the Arsenal game on the weekend. I think he comes in and he starts by the end of January over Leon Bailey, unless Leon Bailey can recapture that form. And then you have Malen on the bench who can cover 4 positions, really. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play as a 10, and he can play up front. £18 million for a 25-year-old who has potential to score 15 plus Premier League goals a season, even from the wing. I think ultimately you can't turn your nose up at that. And Aston Villa are in a tricky spot. Yes, our defence needs sorting out, and I have other videos that I'm going to film back to back with this one talking about that. But let's not neglect the fact that offensively we've been really poor. Apart from the slight bright spark of the goals of John Duran, the goals of Onana to get us the points earlier on in the season, the heroics of the long shot of Ross Barkley, you can't rely on that. You need more than just your striker to be scoring goals. Yes, Ollie Watkins I think has got 7 goals as well. But even Morgan Rogers, right, he's a fantastic player, drives us forward, doesn't particularly score many goals. Goals from anyone else but our strikers have been a major issue since probably around 3-4 games into the season, because we're not creating. Our wingers are not ultimately scoring. Like I say, yes, Morgan Rogers is a fantastic player. I think he's got 2 goals this season, or 3. I'm not 100% sure. It's not many goals at all. John McGinn hasn't scored this season. Leon Bailey's got 1 goal this season. Jadon Philogene didn't have a goal. Ramsey, obviously just coming back from injury, doesn't have any goals. So ultimately I think the signing's good. I'm backing Malen, number 17. Bold prediction, he's going to get 10 Premier League goals this season. On my head be it. Up the Villa. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this transfer. Pleasure to be back, and I'll see you soon.